What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very well. We're going to look at a Algeth'ar Academy I did. One of the highest keys I've done so far on the Frost DK. And yeah, we're just pushing a lot of keys right now. I think my rating is like, yeah, 28, 21. We're doing fine. This week, we're getting reset right now. We're going to get back to a tyrannical week. And I've got lots of keys that I can bump up on my tyrannical rating. We're going to get some more gear. So Frost DK is doing really, really well. This is the build that I tend to run. You're basically always going to go 1 point in enduring strength, 2 points in Frostwhelp's aid, and then of course I'm taking Frostworm's Fury because I have the tier set bonus, the new tier set bonus. This is just sort of, this talent tree doesn't really change for any reason, even for single target. It doesn't change that much. Of course, the new tier set bonus is the old tier set bonus, which does Howling Blast and Frostworm's Fury damage. So let's just walk through this entire key. Let me reduce the volume here, and I'm just going to show you step by step some of the more interesting ways that you can actually contribute to your team, ways that are going to help you on this key, how you're going to do damage. There's a lot of really important things to remember there. So some of you guys, if you want to understand how to do more damage as a Frost DK, hopefully I can help show you in this video. This opening poll is always really, really massive. This was Fortified Week. Again, this is a plus 12. So this is basically like a plus 22, plus 23 key, right, on the old season. It can be very difficult to get your damage going on this pole because you're constantly having to dodge the green swirlies on the ground. But you can see I'm up to 1.7 mil already. I probably could have been at like almost 2 mil if I played that a little bit more perfectly, if I timed my death and decay a little bit better. So just be aware of that. On this pole, you want to time your death and decay really, really well so that you can avoid the green swirlies. You want to put it down right after the green swirlies come down. Right now, you want to put your D&D down right now so that you know where the green swirlies are. But there are multiple of them, so it's just not that easy. Honestly, it's just not that easy. But really good damage at the beginning. And we got to do 2 rounds of our cooldown. I think I get auto to death here. Right about meow. Yep, we die right there. They were just giga bolsters. It's just the way it is. Now we do the last trash pack and then we get to the boss. Now we actually didn't do the boss right away because Lynx had meta, so he wanted to go and meta another pack. So we actually went a different route with this key. We cleared that first pack there with Lust. Now we're actually heading towards Vexamus, and you're not losing a whole lot of time here. It's actually because that tree boss takes a few seconds. He takes like 20 seconds before he's like even an active anyway, once you kill all the mobs around him. So we went and pulled this pack. This pack is very dangerous. The Mystic Blast you can need to get. You can actually get it with Death Grip if you need to. If you have a team that has other ways of getting it, that's fine. But you can single target CC that with Death Grip, which is very, very powerful. Otherwise, the rest of this pack isn't really dangerous. I would say that you're really just looking at that Mystic Blast as the main problem. We almost did about 1 million damage here once again. There goes a stereo blasting past us. But Frost DK damage, I'm telling you guys, even without Frostworm's Fury, I had it obviously for this pull, but you won't have it for every single pull, and that's okay. Your damage will still be fine. You'll do, like, I'm 5'11 right now, gear-wise. You know, you'll do decent damage. You can do 700-800k even without Frostworm's Fury. I promise it's actually possible if you do that. Now, pulls like this that are really scattered, your damage is going to go down a lot. You really do need to like plant yourself in a spot and then just go. And if you can't do that, if you're struggling being able to like plant yourself and do damage, then you have to work on that. I'm trying to work on that. There's lots of mobs here that like jump around. Think about like Azure Vault, like all the frogs in Azure Vault. That section is so annoying, very difficult to try and do damage in, but you can do it. You just have to work at it, like I'm trying to work at it here. So yeah, no, the death and decay here will go down. I have a pillar window right now. I'm gonna send it because these mobs they're almost dead, but you know, this big mob, he needs to die. So you need to try and cleave as much damage onto him as we can. I do get another dragon cast, and our damage is not terrible. Again, it kind of fluctuates pack to pack. Hopefully on this pack, if we get a pillar going right at the beginning, our damage will spike. We also have our trinket and slappy hands right here. There you go. Our damage will start popping off here. There's my first D&D into my pillar window. And you always want to basically pillar into Glacial Advance right away. You want to get that pillar out right away in the Glacial Advance. And then I'm trying to get 14 globals. You can see my little weak aura here. I'm up to 12 globals. I got 12 globals inside. So the weak aura is telling me I missed 2 globals there, which is, again, something I need to work on. We almost hit 1 million damage, though, without even having our dragon, right? And again, I just want to show you guys that the damage is relevant, even if you don't have Frostworm's Fury up. That's okay. Lynx gets one shot by the bolster guy. Here's Vexamus. On Vexamus, as a Frost DK, you can actually contribute a lot defensively. You can help out by soaking orbs with your AMS. It'll stop you from getting those stacks, which is really, really nice. And then generally speaking, you are just really tanky. I mean, that is just the way it goes. You have your Icebound Fortitude. You've got Lichborn. You've got your AMS. I could have AMZ if I wanted to. But here we go. I'm popping AMS right there. And I had an orb around me and I barely took any damage. That's the thing that drops the puddle. So other people are going to get basically like one tap by that. And you just won't. So just cycle through your defensives whenever you need to. Whenever there's a big moment happening. Like Arcane Fissure actually isn't that bad. This is just a little bit of damage, drop some puddles. This is not one of the bad things. The Arcane Bombs that drop, those are bad. And then the circles that spawn. So these Mana Bomb, this is a really nasty overlap right here. When you have Mana Bomb and there's circles coming in that you need to get. Lynx is grabbing the ones in melee. Again, you can just Death Strike as a last resort if you really need to. That's always something that you can do. So just remember, you got Icebound Fortitude, you have Lichborn, you have AMS. Use the AMS all the time. Just use it as much as you possibly can because it's going to just stop so much damage from hitting you. You're going to love it. I think Lynx ended up grabbing that one. Yeah, I could grab it. He's willing to run around and grab them. So I don't need to grab them, which is nice. Our damage here is not bad, actually. We're catching up to the mage. We're still a little bit behind the Shadow Priest, but Shadow Priest is really, really crazy right now. They're like one of the best specs in the entire game. So I'm not too worried about us being behind them. And we have our last pillar window here. And you can see our damage. We just get past the mage, actually, by the end of this fight. We're basically tied with the mage, and we're about 30k behind the Shadow Priest. That's okay. That's good damage. Now, we kill Vexamus. Now we can go back to the tree, and we will have Lust again. I don't think that we use it here. I can't remember. One important, really important thing you can do with this tree boss is the add. You can actually grip the add. There's a primary add that he's going to spawn. I'm going to show you in a minute. There's a primary add that's going to spawn, and you can grip it out of the boss's range. And you're going to want to do that because when the add dies, it puts down a pool, a little healing pool. And that will heal the boss. If you didn't know that, it will heal the boss. It, of course, heals all of you. It heals all the players, but it will also heal the bosses. So be really careful about that. So you can see him right here. He's kind of right here. Healing touch. I'm going to grip him at the last second. I'm running out of melee here. I'm going to grip him right now. Boom. That healing puddle is now away from the boss. Now the rest of us can stand in this healing puddle and get healed, but the boss will not get healed. If he was standing in it, he would. He only gets healed like 1 or 2% of his maximum health, but that's a lot. If that happens 2 or 3 times in a row, that's a ton of healing, and you need to be really careful about that. Now, for Burst Forth, you can also AMS that. Watch my health bar here. Look at my shield. Most of my health bar is covered by a shield right now, and then boom, Burst Forth goes off. I take no damage. So again, another way that you can help your healer out, just don't take any damage. It's really, really good, right? So there's our damage there. You can see our damage is solid. Again, this is the most important thing on this fight. After this, it's every other Germinate, right? He's going to spawn an add. There's the add. It's called Branch Out. And when the add spawns, you're going to want to pull that add away from the boss right before it dies. This ancient branch. This is exactly how you can contribute to this key in a really meaningful way. It's awesome. You can see I'm coming out here. I think Lynx does a chains, and then I yoink the guy over here, and then you can see the line of the healing puddle is just away from the boss, which is great. You don't want it to touch the boss. Actually, I think he did end up getting healed there. So let me just show you that. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. He's at 15% right now, so we got him a little bit too close. He goes to 16% right there. So he actually did get healed still. So we need to actually pull him a little bit further away. I think it's okay for the tank to like sacrifice themselves basically and make sure that that heal doesn't hit the boss, because that's a pretty important moment there. So there you go. That's our damage, about 600k, 630k on this. I'm padding a little bit here, which is unfortunate, but honestly, we just kind of pad in general. Again, we're about 100k behind the Shadow Priest, a little bit more than 100k. I mean, Asteriel's a really good player, but also Shadow Priest is just very, very good. Frosty K could probably use a little bit, a couple of buffs, but we end up lusting this guy because it's Fortified Weak, which, you know, it's something you can do. Not the end of the world. We're doing pretty good single target damage here, actually. Look at our single target damage. When we have Lust, our damage is actually really strong. So, yeah, there you go. If you're wondering about single target damage on Frosty K, it's actually not bad at all. Now, unfortunately, we get double wins right next to us, so I have to back up a little bit. My damage starts falling off here. But our damage is good. Here's these AoE packs. Again, use your Pillar of Frost window on these AoE packs because it makes them die a lot quicker. Yeah, just do it, guys. Just press it. Press all the buttons that you can because it'll get you to the next pack really, really quickly. Let's get to the next boss, though. Let's get to the Crawth bird boss here. Now, this boss is amazing for us because we have AMS. Once again, I think the best defensive in the entire game. I just cannot imagine a better defensive. When Deafening Screech comes out, we can press AMS. Look at my shield. I am not going to get a stack of Deafening Screech now because of this. Everybody else got one stack except for me. That is insane because now, you know, usually on this fight, you're going to throw the orbs based on the stack count. Usually you want to go either between 3 stacks and 4 stacks. And it doesn't matter for me anymore at all. Every other Screech you can AMS. You'll just keep resetting your stacks as a DK. So it's completely and utterly busted on DK. Like, the other team is going to do the orb thing whenever they want to do the orb thing anyway. But for us, just know every other Screech you can AMS. Right here, once again, I'm AMSing this one, and I'm down to 1 Screech. Everybody else is at 3. Right? So very, very strong tool that you have at your disposal to stay alive, to take way, way less damage over the course of this fight. It just means that this whole Screech mechanic is completely irrelevant for us, which is great. We're doing double damage right now inside when the boss has this fire thing. You see my obliterates are hitting really, really hard. There was a 900k obliterate there. Look at that. 873k obliterate, right? Another one. 980k obliterate. So you want to try and make sure, if possible, that you have a Pillar of Frost window going when you activate the fire orbs. When you throw that 3rd fire orb in, the boss like gets stunned for 10 seconds, and during that time he takes like double damage or something, or 50% more damage. So it's a really, really good moment to have Pillar of Frost ready to go so that you can do as much damage as possible. We end up getting the Rushing Wind here going, and remember, when this Rushing Wind thing happens, okay, there are orbs that are going to drop on the ground. There's an orb right there. They look like that. They have a little arrow above their head, okay? These orbs, you pick them up, and they're going to give you a haste buff, and they're going to stop you from getting pushed back by the wind. Right now, I'm getting pushed back by the wind. There we go. Now I'm not. I have a huge haste buff right now. I'm doing tons of damage. I'm getting runic power generation, or rune generation like crazy. So make sure you pick one of those suckers up. Okay, there's our Crawth damage. Again, we're about 50k behind Asteriel. Not too bad. Now, we can ignore all the trash going towards Vexamus, which is pretty annoying trash because we did the bosses in a different order, right? So now we're going to get the rest of our trash count from this last area. There's a whole bunch of whirlwind guys. They basically do no damage because you can just CC the whirlwind and it's not a problem at all. So Lynx pulls 3 packs together here. I'm yoinking the guys that are doing arcane missiles because those are the most dangerous guys in this pack. And then Lynx can yoink them all together with the big chain. So that's good. And then I'm going to pop my cooldown here and we're going to go. I'm inside my Death and Decay. We're doing as many obliterates as we can. Going to start stacking damage. You have to be very, very careful about the whirlwinds. There goes my, I think I preemptively used my dragon there. I'm not getting as much damage as I possibly could here, but it's because I'm worried about the whirlwinds. I don't want to die to a whirlwind scheme. I'm dying right now, so I want to be very, very careful with the whirlwinds and the missiles. I'm trying to CC them. We're still doing good damage, but I could have been doing probably 1.2 mil, 1.3 mil. Almost died to a missiles there, I think. Once again, be very, very careful. There's a patrol coming. We want to CC the mobs and then push them into the corner here. We're going to end up doing that right here just to make sure that we're in the clear. And then again, you can use AMS to block missiles if you need to. And there's our damage there. Not bad at all. A little bit behind. I think I was focused a lot on doing CC. We have to get the rest of this area basically because we need 12%. So we pull the rest of these guys. It's a very similar story. Lots of arcane missiles to stop. And my dragon comes down. I think I missed my dragon actually in my window. So I desynced my Pillar of Frost and my dragon. That was really, really bad. So I just use it here. So I'm doing a lot less damage right now because I messed it up. I think we got one shot by missiles here. Yeah, I got one shot by missiles. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They got bolstered, right? Then we pull these last two mobs and we actually just pulled them into the boss. These whirlwind guys are so irrelevant, man. We have 10 minutes left on a plus 12. We're doing pretty well. So just pull these into the boss. And we're going to have 3-target cleave here in a minute, which is actually fantastic for us. For Frosty K, 3-target cleave is like, mwah, that is the absolute best thing you could ask for. There's the whirlwind ads. They finally made their way in. I'm going to do my Pillar of Frost window here in a second. Going to get my cleave down with D&D. There we go. And we're going to pillar right now. And we're going to start doing D&D stuff. We're cleaving 300k a blitz on all three of those guys. Very, very good. I get another D&D down, I think, in a second here. Well, we have to get out first, so I had to use my dragon. Unfortunately, there's a lot of like movement problems in this one, but second D&D is down. Now we're cleaving again. Boom, boom, just wrecking these ads. So that's what you want to do there. And then for this one, use AMS as much as possible. Remember that the stack count on this boss actually went up to 4. It used to be 3. You get 3 stacks of the mechanic, and then you're going to create an orb on the ground. Now it's 4. So it's actually, there's a lot less orbs that you're creating on the ground now, which means you just have a little bit more leeway, which is great. And that's it. That's about the end of that. I'm just going to go to the end of the fight here. Not much else. We didn't really have to move that much because everybody else did a really good job placing their circles on the ground. And there you go. Here's our final count. We did 474k overall. Yes, Asterial did 741k because, you know, Shadow Priest is really insane. And that's just the way it is. But our damage, I was really happy with our damage. I'm not going to lie. Really happy with this. I think that I could have done more. I had a couple of blunders here and there. It really, really matters how you handle your death and decay windows. But at the end of the day, guys, I was happy with this damage. I think we did fine. Here's what it looks like. Your Obliterate ends up being 27% of my damage. Remorseless Winter, Frostworm's Fury, Glacial Advance. There's everything right there. Yeah, so that is a plus 12 Algeth'ar done on Fortified Week. Not a particularly difficult key, but there's a couple of moments you have to really get right. And if you screw them up, then you're in big trouble. That's how you can kind of do it as a Frost DK. And I think that's some of the most damage that I have done in a key so far. So very, very happy with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Would love to hear from all of you. Are you playing Frost DK? Are you enjoying this season? Please let me know. Thank you so much again for watching. Love you all. I will see you in the next one.